let's understand what are different ways of mobile app development. There are two primary approaches through which mobile applications are developed. First is the native approach and the second is the hybrid approach. So let's first start with native approach as it is the traditional one. As you know that there are different operating systems for mobiles like iOS, Android, Windows, etc. Now let's say you have to develop a mobile e-commerce application. If you choose native approach, it means you will have to develop 3 different applications, each for iOS, Android and Windows Mobile respectively. Yes, you heard me right. So for iOS app you need Swift and Objective-C developers. For Android, one may use Java, Kotlin and Android Studio, and for Windows, C#. So basically for each type of mobile you have a separate code base or technology used. Now in case of hybrid, you just have one code base and that too mostly with HTML, CSS, JavaScript and some additional framework. But how will this web technology code work on mobile? Well, for that, there is some compiler or say a kind of converter which generates this web code into mobile for all the platforms, that is iOS, Android and Windows. And in the mobile, the application is opened in a web view, that is a wrapper which handles the HTML, CSS, JavaScript as a mobile app. So hybrid means build once, use for all types of mobiles, whereas native means separate developers and code for each type of mobile. Now this clearly shows that hybrid is better and easier, isn't it? Well, there is always a flip side, so let's compare both the approaches. When it comes to development technologies, in case of native we use the Swift or Objective-C for iOS, Java, Kotlin, Android Studio, SDK for Android and C# for Windows. In case of hybrid, we use HTML, CSS, JavaScript as the base and frameworks like Ionic or Xamarin, etc. So about the code base, we have multiple code bases for each platform, and in case of hybrid we have single code base. If we compare the development time, in case of native it's going to take more time, it is longer because there are multiple platforms and code bases, whereas in case of hybrid it's a super fast development because of one code base and that too just HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And because more development time is involved, there will be higher cost when it comes to native app development and it is lower when it comes to hybrid. As long as the performance is concerned, certainly the native apps are running faster because there are no wrappers or layers, whereas in case of hybrid it is little slower as compared to native due to wrappers, but this is debatable when it comes to few newer technologies. About the user experience, the native user experience is faster and smoother. In case of hybrid it is not bad but cannot match with native. Now this is again debatable. Here are the few examples for each of the application development approach, so you get the idea. So choosing native or hybrid totally depends on the performance, user experience, type of application and budget.